Architecture students of Paris Val-de-Seine, Old City welcomed us on its high chalk cliff to introduce us to its site and inhabitants through a one-week workshop. During this time, we were able to talk to many different people who bring us a lot of data to share: postcards, pictures, memories, and maps. Our intention was especially kept on Max, who told us about his youth in Old and his life at the time.
Je suis originaire de Paris, mais j'ai toujours passé mes vacances ici. Je voulais passer ma retraite ici. Oui, j'ai beaucoup de souvenirs personnels du fait que j'ai passé ma jeunesse là. Je faisais la vie pour rester ici. Ici, j'avais tous mes copains, mes copines. Il y avait une ambiance. On avait toutes les activités. Il y avait le club Mickey, il y avait le judo, il y avait le tir à l'arc, il y avait plein d'activités nautiques, la voile, le ski nautique, etc. J'ai appris à nager dans la piscine du CLJ. C'était un club de loisirs pour les jeunes, façon colonie de vacances. Je pratiquais beaucoup la baignade, le canoë, avec des amis, de la famille.
Every part of his stories made us realize that all of it was actually telling a lot about a few notions which bloomed. 3 different groups stepped out: leisure and activities, temporality and nostalgia, and sociability and friendship. Each of these words is referring to some moments through Max's life which happened at some specific places. Those memories and stories actually took place on the beach in which every day he has his eyes on. The beach itself, the city square, and the concrete dike. It actually highlights the fact that with its cliffs, this area is a real interface in between the sea and the land, the high and the low city. So why, how, when, and what happened to make the beach of Old such a special place to be? Let's talk about the contextual affordance of Old seafront. At first, the seafront wasn't such an attractive spot to wander or play. It was considered, only for its emptiness, a place without any content. Then, the navigation began to grow as a way to conquer and transport merchandise, so the beach was poorly attended because of the direct ride filled by people in distress looking for anything to grab to survive. The fisherman community started to exist and expand. A real turning point for Old, thanks to its closeness to Paris because it became a main exportation center for sea products. Then in the late 18th century, some doctor named Richard Russell discovered that seawater had therapeutic values and bath establishments started to rise. Of course, Old get caught in the process and seawater treatment bring more people than the beach. During the Belle Epoque, different infrastructures were developed like casinos, tourism guides, and thanks to its link with the capital city, Old has been able to gather wealthy people and the bourgeoisie along its coastline. Moreover, industrial period and specifically the railway line from Paris to Le Tréport gave to people simpler way to get to the sea. Then, in 1936, thanks to the Popular Front, people get pay leave, which gave a new amount of free time to the population. The beach started to be more popular. It's a discovery of a new time for themselves, and it's about how to use it and with what. It's a time of freedom, of boldness. Is it to feel, to kill? It's a whole new thing, and finally people don't really know what to do with it. They are going to the beach, and the beach starts to be like a refugee camp where people go to avoid life and boldness. But then, how to structure that time? Different kind of activities and structures bloomed and structured this time, like the CLG, Youth and Leisure Center, and the Mickey Club, particularly for children, which were about leisure, friendship, and learning. Oh, by the way, we can spot Max and the CLG's swimming pool and with his friends through his youth. It's a new way to fill time in life, and it turns out to be new values for children education within the appropriation of this new time available. All of this took place along the coast, on the beach of Old, inside this interface in between the two cities, which turned out to become the new center place of the whole city itself, where the beach is a real contextual affordance. There is a scission between the high and the low city. The social structure changed and the mixed city won the beach. A panel of infrastructures appeared depending on the needs to house those different ways to live at the seafront. First, the beach huts, from the most mobile, which developed all along the sea line, coming and going with the tides, used to find intimacy and sheltered from the sun, to the most permanent ones, which developed on the dike against the dead cliff and provided space to stock belongings and sheltered from the changing weather. Each of those became a new space to be and to let it be, and finally hosted events which was not really programmed at first. Then the cavities seem to have been one of the most logical way to combine the different temporalities of the uses around the beach and at a really strategic place inside this interface which is just at the edge of its frontier with the high city, against the dead cliff under the casino. We had the opportunity to reach for more information about the cavities thanks to Max, who agreed to share his time with us to ask him a few more questions. From his little boy's memory, he actually does not remember specifically the dimensions of the cavities, because it was more about what happened than where it happened, about the content mainly. We know that there were 5 of them, 5 cavities, each here for different purposes. 2 on the left for facilities and care station. The other ones, right under the casino, were used for logistic and storage, and the last ones, which merged, hosted all the CLG's activities and more. The cavities are hosted as much as programmed event as unprogrammed one, things which were not supposed to be but were and happened anyway. Our friend Max stopped to be part of the CLG on the early 70s. Then, after the place shut down, the place was vandalized and finally have been closed and sealed in the 19s. With the disappearance of the infrastructures, beach huts and all, cavities was the last vestige of the life on the beach which vanished. The beach comes back to be a place without content, a space full of emptiness. Sésame, ouvre-toi. The goal is to rebound the stories of all through an architectural device which works like an in-situ memory box. A mysterious object without any precise shape, working with the imaginary of the cavities, giving the opportunity to the inhabitants and holidaymakers to reactivate this place by using the nostalgia of anyone, like if the cavities were rolled up on the dike. Everyone has a place where he's done his first foolishness, secretiveness, get in little trouble doing crazy things. The idea is to hear and tell those stories, which made the beach of old the place that it used to be. Through childhood and youth story, anyone could come and tell an anecdote about a first time, a foolishness, a fall, a good memory, a first kiss, a friendship, an argument, or anything else exactly where it could have happened. The principle is simple. The one who comes in, share and can listen. 2 beach huts assemble in one like the 2 merged cavities which were joined make a route to browse in 2 steps. Someone enter in a tiny and darker room in which he share a little piece of story of his choice and that is going to be broadcast in a loop in the second room.
Moi j'ai appris à nager ici. Il y avait les maîtres nageurs qui venaient là du mois de juin au mois de septembre. Tu as tous les enfants du village et les estivants qui inscrivaient leurs enfants là-bas. Hein. Ça me reste un bon souvenir. Donc voilà, c'était. Il y avait plein d'attractions. Il y avait sur la grande esplanade, tu avais par exemple un camion Danone qui venait la journée. Il y avait plein de jeux pour les enfants. On s'en souvient.